Activision Blizzard's net revenue hit $1.9 billion in the third financial quarter of 2020, up from $1.3 billion during the same period last year. Meanwhile, Ubisoft sales reached $881.4 million in the first half of its financial year, up 8.5% year over year. Despite their apparent successes, stock prices for both, have dropped since the reports were announced. Ubisoft is down 4.2% and Activision 2.6% at close of day today. To break down the day's news, please welcome back to the download Lewis Ward, Research Director of Gaming and VR/AR at IDC. Lewis, how you doing?
Very good, guys. Yeah, and I am a fan of the new Star Wars trilogy. Maybe I'm not sure I'm in the majority of that team there, but on The Mandalorian, I am actually skipping The Mandalorian right now to take part in this. So that's what happened at my house.
You tried to sneak that PS5 in there, Lewis.
Yeah, I see it.
I know. That's actually...
Wow.
An Xbox.
That's actually, yeah. You can't see it, but that's... Pat, you had a tweet about this was the new power move. Star Wars, both. I got both here.
That is a big-time power move.
The biggest flex of all time.
To the topic at hand, both Activision and Ubisoft reported strong earnings, but the bump wasn't as high for Activision as it was last quarter. Do you think that this is a showing of a burst of the COVID bubble a little bit that buoyed games company sales in the early half of the year?
Well, I mean, Activision Blizzard had actually a stronger quarter. If you look at it year over year, they were up 52% versus 3Q 2019. So their revenue is actually reasonably strong at 1.95 billion. I think you said that. And Call of Duty absolutely crushed it. So Blizzard and King were basically flat, but Activision itself with Call of Duty, and it was both Modern Warfare and then Call of Duty Mobile and Call of Duty Warzone. Those seem to have really crushed it. So I think just objectively they had actually a stronger third quarter than did Ubisoft.
Interesting. Now, I'd say big AAA game development and that process, that cycle is still relatively new in the company world. Now, and both of these companies have announced delays of their high-profile games. Is it the sort of thing that worries investors, or do they trust these companies to be able to take it to the finish line?
Right. That's probably part of the reason why Ubisoft in particular, right? They bumped at least two titles, Quarantine and what was the other one? I forgot the name of the second one.
It was Far Cry 6.
Yeah,
Far Cry 6.
Far Cry 6, sorry, yeah. So they pushed that back.
Mandalorian stuff.
And that's probably did weigh on their financials to push that out further. But, I think that in the COVID times, it's just a reality that a lot of the production cycles or the processes have been stretched in ways that were not expected. So I'm going to take them at their word that this is just a function of that. I know talking to Sony and Microsoft, they talked about that getting the hardware ready wasn't so much the challenge. It was actually getting everybody at home and then still trying to do all the things necessary to make those companies run was actually more of a challenge than the hardware stuff.
Right, the work from home, right.
Now, both Activision and Ubisoft seem to show a lot of interest in the future of cloud gaming. How do you think that will evolve?
I'm probably less bullish than some other people you might have on.
I'm surprised by that.
I lived through OnLive days like Steve Perlman and those guys back in the day. And I've, seen Gaikai and whatnot come and go. So I'm a little bit skeptical. I think our last US survey had about 3% of US gamers indicating that cloud stream gaming was a top 3 way they game across, online, offline console, online, offline PC, smartphone, tablet, whatever you have. So we had like a list of like 13 options, and cloud stream gaming was like, pretty low on the list, quite frankly. It was like 3% of gamers said that's their, one of their top ways to game. So I guess the short answer is I know a lot of big companies are jumping in, and Ubisoft's checking out the waters with Luna, right, and probably doing some other things. But revenue-wise, I don't expect it's going to be big next year. I think this is like a long-term play. Like, talk to me 2023, 2024.
Yeah.
We'll see where we're at.
Yeah, I feel like the same way about VR as well. But thank you, Lewis, so much for your time.